Okay, we are now live. Welcome to Bill and Amon's Bogus Hangout, everyone. We've got a bit of a crew already. I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they're up to. Arthur?
To me?
Wait a second. I'm sorry about that. I had a bit of a time loop going on there. Yes, introduce yourself, Arthur.
I'm Arthur Moorhead. I'm an artist in Naples, Florida, and I paint murals, fine art, that kind of thing. And I'm trying to get some online art classes going. And I believe I'm pretty much ready. I just got some microphone issues I gotta work out. I mean, I'm not. I think I gotta get a lavalier mic. I just get this echo and it drives me nuts.
Doc, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Doc Sheldon, Intrinsic Value SEO and Search News Central. And I've just been, this last few days, of course, over the holiday, I tried to kick back a little bit, but what have I done? Installed a new stove in the kitchen, and I did the cooking Easter. And of course, I also did the lion's share of the eating. So it all worked out pretty well. Back to it now. Dreaded dead air.
I was going to say dead air, dead air.
Tim, you want to tell us something about yourself? Yeah.
I'm Tim Calling. I own a Servant's Heart web design and marketing. Work a lot with home health care and hospice and in-home elder care services, and work with some other types of organizations as well. Just recently built an online training site for a client. Don't know if that would be a relevant experience for Arthur or not. Just things are normal. Lately I've just been saying that a lot. So people ask me how things are or what I'm doing, and I say pretty much normal. Normal is good.
Which can be on either end of the spectrum, right?
You know what? Normal I can handle.
Steve?
Steve Grinzer with Steam Driven Media. It's been the last couple of weeks recovering from the last trade show I went to and heading out to a marketing conference for Amazon tomorrow. And I'll be down in an Orlando area for a week and get back from that. And it'll be time to hit the farm stuff pretty hard and heavy with spring being here. So it'll be a trade-off between working and making money and working and spending money.
Diane going with you, Steve?
No, she's staying here. We're expecting some cows in the next few days, so she wants to be here for that, which will make the trip a whole lot more fun for me.
And I am Bill Slosky. I'm the Director of SEO Research for Go Fish Digital, and I'm the author at SEO by the Sea. I've been recently getting requests for which patents affect certain clients we're getting. They want to know more about the patents that affect their business, which is really the first time I've had clients asking for that.
Why do you think they want that information, Bill? Are they wanting it so they can understand better what the impact is on them then in terms of their SEO efforts? Or
yeah, sure. some of the things they're asking about include stuff like how fresh is fresh content? What do we do with older content? How do we handle evergreen content? So it's the type of stuff that most site owners want to know anyway. But they're also asking, are there any patents that specifically affect them? This one client who's asking this is a news website. And there are certain search rankings that are news specific only, which is good to know.
Lost a little bit of the last part you said there, but
I said this client is a news. They're a news website, so they want to know what types of ranking signals specifically affect news sites.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Bill, you're showing to me as muted. I mean, I can hear you, but it is chopping you off, and maybe because you're showing muted.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
I don't know
Yep.
why it was showing me as muted.
Not anymore now.
Right. I didn't set myself as muted. Wow. And when I scheduled this event today, I signed in as under a login that Ammon created in the UK. So I log in under that and I look at things and it shows me GM Greenwich Mean Time. I guess they just went through daylight savings time there too. So it's their time to our time is different than it was, which I guess messed up the schedule for today. But fortunately, we're here and we've got things going. Terry?
Yes, sir.
You're there. Okay. How are you?
Am I?
You want to introduce yourself? Yeah.
Sure. Terry Van Horn, International Website Builders, SEO Pros, SEO Training Dojo. We got a million of them. Yeah, I build websites and I've been doing SEO before it was called SEO. That's about all.
What did you call it back then?
I make it so people can find you in the basically. Sometimes we called it keyword marketing too at first, and then it slowly got more and more to SEO. The first real ranking I've got of any consequence was for SEO placement. Was a term for a long time. I've seen a lot of terms come and go. You know, lately a lot of them go too, like people realize are not good terms, like outbound marketing can mean different things to different people. You know, so that's the way it is. This week I've been training someone on doing the social for a few websites, changed the way we were doing social, and been building out a couple of websites, which hopefully will be done in the next month or so. And, you know, that's about it for me.
Terry, are you using WordPress?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Even if I'm using WordPress, I'll develop what I call product pages, or the pages that really are important outside of WordPress, because I don't like all the bloated code. Like, for instance,
yeah, people that I'm running into. I don't like. I mean, I've been doing it for years too, even before Google was even here.
Yeah.
And here lately, it's been getting pretty crazy, with WordPress. And so, I've gone to Elementor, to
But
speed things.
a lot of the time, it seems like it's not WordPress, it's the theme designers. If you're using them, they don't seem to know how to make CSS work from a file the way it's supposed to, right? They put hundreds and hundreds of lines of code that should be in separate CSS and JS folders. And yet it's all in the page because they can't make it work outside of it. That's the only thing I can think of. And the thing that really surprises me is 90% of those themes are based on Bootstrap for the CSS, and they all bastardize it to the point that that's why they have to write all the code into the page.
Yeah,
and that's my rant on that.
What I'm running into now is I'm having to take I can't believe they've got all the CSS and the Java all in separate little files. So in order to speed up my site, now I got to put it all into one file. And it drives me nuts. I mean, WordPress never used to be like that. But anymore, since they've gotten larger, now they keep everything separated. And your site comes down to a crawl.
I was talking the other day to one of the developers over at Divi, and he doesn't like it either because he says what they have done is they have farmed out to little groups and subgroups to you develop this module, you develop that module, these guys are going to develop the other module. So each one of those guys, they develop their module independently with its own CSS, its own scripts, and then they just take them all and fold them into the theme, into their platform. So that was the one complaint I always had about Divi is when I wanted to modify, for instance, an H2 font color or font size or style, I had to go do it in 16 different places. Even for modules that you're not using, each one of them had their own CSS file for that little module. And so consequently you end up with a 6,500 line program. It's bullshit. And I suspect that there's an awful lot of those builder type themes out there that are the same way. They're compartmentalizing the construction of all these modules in different groups, so they're getting an awful lot of duplication of effort.
Yeah, so what's your opinion about Elementor?
I have not used it. I don't like builders much. So I haven't used it. From what I've read, people seem to think that it's one of the better ones.
Not really. I prefer I forget. It's like bacon bread or something is the name of it.
Beaver Builder?
Pardon me?
Are you talking about Beaver Builder?
No, it's I forget the name of it. It's in a lot of theme forest themes. Use it for that.
One I've looked at it just recently
and made the exact same page calling Bootstrap, and it went from 1,800 lines to 200 lines for the exact same display.
That sounds about par for the course. I just recently was looking at the Thrive Builder, just out of curiosity, and I'm intrigued by it. It looks pretty good. It gives you an awful lot of granular control without modules.
Thrive?
It's not a typical Thrive, from Thrive Themes.
Okay.
And it's worth looking at. I'm going to look at it deeper. I watched a little instructional video on it a couple days ago, And I was intrigued by it because it really does let you get down into some nitty gritty without a lot of cut and paste modules. It's they're calling it a template, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. It's more like they've given you a back-end interface to make it easier to do stuff at code level.
Huh.
I haven't even looked at the size of it. I don't know what it's like in terms of bloat and speed and all, but functionally, I liked what I was seeing.
Nice.
I have used Elementor in just one very minor instance. It seemed to work pretty well, but then it's the first time I've actually used a page builder of any kind. I sort of decided to back off from all this, though, and wait until after we get a release of WordPress that includes Gutenberg, and then see what that does to all of the page builders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to break an awful lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, it may kill the market for some of these.
It really could, because it's going to be a massive undertaking for some of those folks to revamp their products to coordinate with it. In all probability, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've read on Automatic about Gutenberg, it's a whole new critter. It's really going to be a massive change.
I bought a license for Elementor Pro or whatever they call it last winter when they had a real good deal on it. But I decided not to buy any others now until we see what that brings. So
Yeah, I don't want to pay for the license. I mean, that's, once you pay for the license, then you got to buy something else. And I just don't have that kind of budget. And I mean, there's one thing that Elementor does that I don't like is their call to action. Is they won't give you the email button per se, because capture button. You either gotta use another plug-in or go and build that through MailChimp. And I just can't understand why they would want to charge you for that when they got everything else.
Yeah.
So,
I'm using the program. It's called WP Bakery.
Oh,
It's a whole bunch of themes that I'm using. I don't mind that one too much. Elemental was in a site and I just trashed it. Couldn't use it at all. Found it just slowed me down.
yeah, it's a bit wonky. He does got his learning curve, that's for sure.
Well,
almost everything
I've
does.
come to the conclusion that if I'm building a site based on Bootstrap, I can actually build a site faster outside of WordPress than I can in WordPress.
Oh.
I'm convinced that I could.
I still throw together real quick websites in PHP just by hand.
Yeah.
I'm not a developer, so I got to pretty much do everything on my own. And I have been for the last 9 or 10 years now. But I'm not in that business, so I don't see any point in me learning, all that. I mean, I'm confused enough just trying to figure out what color to use where on a painting, But, I mean, I just basically want something that I can do myself and not have to pay a fortune for it. Because, I mean, I'm just an artist, and we don't get the sales like everyone else, and since I've gotten older, I can't get around as much. So now I have to build, like I'm working on building a membership site right now. And that's tough to get members involved in that. You know, I never realized how tough it was. You know, but so now I'm back to brushing up my SEO, and you know, the search engine marketing is just SEM is not what it used to be. Of course, it's all about semantic search and stuff now, which is what search originally started out at until Google come along. You know, so but I get frustrated with it just like anybody else.
Well, in other news, the most startling event of the week, unless you are used to Google killing things off after they become popular, they've killed off the goo.gl URL shortener.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortunately-
after they bought the only free one out there.
Yeah. So, what are you going to do? Bitly I can use up to a certain point for free stuff, but it was nice that it was free.
I saw something just a couple days ago. It doesn't appear to be too difficult to just build your own.
Yeah, I built one. Took me about maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I saw something. I think it was on GitHub that somebody showed the code, and it worked pretty well.
There's a plugin for WordPress even that'll do it. So is that the way you all are doing? And then what? You host it yourself somewhere?
Yeah. It's actually the only way that you can actually keep all your data private.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't too long ago that there's a lot of social media that wouldn't accept Bitly, you know, because there was something going on, and also Ping FM, you know, because I had a lot of my photos put on Flickr, and I just could not get them to do anything like on Facebook. And I found out Facebook made everybody get rid of Ping FM, you know, and now here it's back again. And Bitly had a problem with spammers, you know, there for a long time ago. Not really that long ago, just when all those MLMs and stuff were killing the internet. You know, that Facebook wouldn't allow anything from Bitly. You know, and I think it was because somebody was using it as a spamming and spoofing shortener. You know, so I was
I had
surprised.
nothing to do with that.
Huh?
Wasn't me or any of my clients. Nope, not us.
Yeah, we were out of town that week.
Too much. Well, you know, as long as the shortener continues to work, as it will with supposedly with goo.gl, then you know that solves a little bit of the concern I would have if they were as compared to if they just stopped. But I guess I'm not as sophisticated about how to take advantage of those things in kind of a more questionable way, which I'm sure nobody on the call would do.
No, the issue isn't so much that it was questionable. It was that Facebook and several other websites didn't like certain types of products and marketing. And if you ran a Bitly link into Facebook, you could get away with it because they couldn't follow past Bitly. So then you went through Bitly.
Yeah.
So you started stacking these referrers.
Okay.
And you could disguise the landing page, and you could get your ads and products listed on Facebook.
I see. I have a
Which
friend that has fought with them for years because he wants to sell gun parts, or guns or something, and they won't allow that. So yeah.
and
Or
it raises the question too, you know,
product.
Terry, have you run into problems any place not wanting to accept your proprietary shortener? Because I would imagine that if people had a problem with Bitly or Ping FM, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to like Doc Says either. You know,
It's a volume issue. It's a volume issue. We got around it with our own.
did you?
I said we got around it by creating our own because we avoid it. You know, it's a volume issue.
Okay.
If you get a lot of complaints from people going, I keep going to these links and they're all junk, then they're going to take a look at them. But if you use your own link, you know, thing with your own audience, and those people tend to not complain about your stuff, or at least not as much. So you can avoid that issue. It's basically who got complained about, and it was Bitly.
Okay.
I guess the other thing that I would wonder about is, you know, someday if you sell your company, if you successfully build up some value in it, will the acquiring company recognize the need to continue to keep that server going? And if they don't, will it screw up any of your clients? No. Once you sold the company, you know, maybe you don't care.
Well, we always built them. We always put them on the client's servers. We never put them on our own.
Okay.
Yeah, I put them on my server when I do it.
What is funny is when the new dev comes in and goes, "What's this here for?" Deletes it.
We don't need this.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day that she's a developer, and she had a client that she had built a site for, and it was a customized WordPress site, and she had built it 3 or 4 years ago, and the gal called her in a panic that the site it throws up a little bit of text up in the upper left-hand corner, and the site won't render, and there's no navigation or anything. Well, come to find out, they hired some intern in the company, and he went back in there and he cleaned up some of this. They told him to go in there and clean up some of these excess files, and he saw a half a dozen files that said CSS. He didn't know what the fuck they were, so bam, they're out of here. He just deleted them right off the server.
And then the next conversation was, backup? What backup?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite one is an old client of mine that decided they needed another new website, and rather than paying me to do it, they went ahead and had their accountant do it. And yeah,
no, a perfect.
I got a call about. Yeah, I got a call about 6 months later wanting to know, you know, why all their rankings are vanished, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's take a look. It's like, well, who built this website, and why didn't they redirect any of the old URLs, and what the hell's all this? It's like, no, you guys have good luck with that. I'm out of here. I have no connection to this whatsoever.
Not involved with this, and don't want to be.
No, you didn't want to pay me to do it the first time. You're certainly not going to want to pay what I'm going to charge you to fix it.
You know, it seems like now, you know, some of you have been in the business longer than I have, but when I've lost clients recently, or at all, really, it's been when my original client is acquired by someone else. Mm-hmm. And then the acquiring company or owner, actually it's been individuals at the bottom, comes in and they have their own favorite, you know, SEO guy or company. And when in one case, the website hasn't been changed at all, and it's not a site I built in the first place, but you know, their rankings are already starting to tank.